The history of Palestine is one of complexity and struggle, a narrative woven with threads of ancient civilizations and modern-day turmoil, marked by displacement, conflict, and a persistent search for self-determination. The land has seen countless battles, both physical and ideological, as its people strive for a sense of identity and belonging. To understand the present, we must delve into the events that shaped this land and its people. Each chapter in Palestine's history adds a layer of depth to the ongoing conflict. Before the creation of Israel in 1948, Palestine, under British mandate, was home to both Arabs and Jews. This period was marked by a fragile coexistence, with both communities harboring aspirations for the future. The seeds of conflict were sown in this period, with competing claims to the land and escalating tensions between the two communities. The struggle for control and recognition intensified as the Mandate period drew to a close. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, creating a refugee crisis that continues to resonate today. This mass exodus marked a turning point in Palestinian history. The loss of their homeland and the establishment of Israel had a profound impact on the Palestinian people. It was a moment of profound loss and upheaval, altering the course of countless lives. It led to the scattering of Palestinians across neighboring countries and further afield, creating a diaspora that yearned for a return to their homeland. This longing for return became a central theme in Palestinian identity. The absence of a unified Palestinian leadership in the immediate aftermath of 1948 left a void that would soon be filled by the emergence of the Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO. This organization sought to unify the Palestinian voice. The formation of the PLO in 1964 marked a turning point in the Palestinian struggle. It was a moment of hope and renewed determination for many Palestinians. For the first time, a unified organization emerged with the aim of representing Palestinian interests and achieving self-determination. The PLO became a symbol of Palestinian resistance and aspiration. The PLO's early years were marked by internal divisions and limited influence on the ground. These challenges, however, did not deter the organization from its mission. However, the Six-Day War of 1967, which resulted in Israel's occupation of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, significantly altered the political landscape. This occupation intensified the Palestinian struggle. The aftermath of the 1967 war saw the PLO gain prominence as the leading representative of the Palestinian people. The organization began to play a more central role in the Palestinian national movement. The organization, fueled by a sense of urgency and emboldened by the plight of Palestinians living under Israeli occupation, began to attract wider support. This period marked a significant shift in the Palestinian resistance. This period witnessed the rise of Yasser Arafat and his Fatah faction within the PLO, signaling a shift towards a more militant approach to resisting Israeli occupation. Arafat's leadership would become synonymous with the Palestinian struggle. The PLO, under Arafat's leadership, adopted a two-pronged strategy to advance the Palestinian cause. First, it sought to internationalize the Palestinian cause, gaining recognition and support from Arab states and the wider international community. This involved extensive diplomatic efforts and participation in international forums. Second, it engaged in armed struggle against Israel, carrying out attacks that it argued were a legitimate form of resistance against occupation. These actions were intended to draw attention to the Palestinian plight and pressure Israel. The PLO's use of armed struggle was widely condemned as terrorism, but it also succeeded in drawing global attention to the Palestinian plight. The international community was forced to confront the realities of the conflict. Arafat's charisma and his ability to navigate the complexities of Arab and international politics helped elevate the PLO's status. His leadership was crucial in maintaining the organization's visibility on the world stage. The organization gained observer status at the United Nations in 1974, a significant step towards international recognition. This status allowed the PLO to participate in UN debates and further its diplomatic efforts. However, the PLO's use of violence also proved costly. The human and political toll of these actions was significant, affecting both Palestinians and Israelis. Its attacks on Israeli civilians and its involvement in the Lebanese Civil War, which began in 1975, further complicated the situation. The conflict in Lebanon drew the PLO into a broader regional struggle. Israel's 1982 invasion of Lebanon, aimed at dismantling the PLO's infrastructure, forced the organization to evacuate its headquarters in Beirut. This was a major setback for the PLO. Despite the setbacks, the PLO, under Arafat's leadership, remained a potent symbol of Palestinian aspirations for statehood. The resilience of the organization kept the hope of a Palestinian state alive. The PLO's struggle for recognition and its use of armed struggle were defining features of its early years. These efforts laid the groundwork for future diplomatic and political initiatives. Arafat's leadership, though often controversial, proved instrumental in keeping the Palestinian issue at the forefront of global politics. His ability to garner international support was unmatched. The organization's willingness to employ both diplomatic and military means reflected the complexities of the Palestinian struggle and the challenges it faced in confronting a more powerful adversary. This dual approach was both a strength and a source of controversy. Yasser Arafat, a complex and often polarizing figure, dominated Palestinian politics for decades. His journey from a militant leader to a diplomatic figurehead is a testament to his adaptability and strategic acumen. His early leadership was characterized by a blend of militant rhetoric and pragmatic diplomacy. Arafat's ability to navigate these dual roles made him a unique and influential leader in the Palestinian struggle. He recognized the need to secure international support for the Palestinian cause while simultaneously engaging in armed struggle against Israel. This dual approach was both controversial and effective in keeping the Palestinian issue on the global stage. Arafat's decision to engage in the Oslo peace process in the early 1990s marked a turning point in his career and in the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This move was seen as a bold step towards peace, despite the risks involved. His willingness to negotiate directly with Israel, a move that was met with resistance from some factions within the PLO, demonstrated a pragmatic shift towards finding a political solution. This shift was crucial in altering the dynamics of the conflict. The Oslo Accords, signed in 1993 and 1995, were hailed by many as a breakthrough in the long-standing conflict. These agreements laid the groundwork for future negotiations and potential peace. The agreements led to the establishment of the Palestinian Authority, or PA, an interim self-governing body tasked with administering parts of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. This was a significant step towards Palestinian self-determination. Arafat, returning from exile, became the PA's first president in 1996. His return was marked by celebrations and a renewed sense of hope among Palestinians. Arafat's decision to engage in the Oslo process and his subsequent leadership of the PA were not without their critics. Some viewed his actions as a betrayal of the Palestinian cause. Some Palestinians viewed the agreements as a flawed compromise that fell short of their aspirations for a fully independent state. This sentiment led to ongoing debates and protests within the Palestinian community. Others questioned Arafat's ability to navigate the complexities of self-governance and to deliver on the promises of Oslo. The challenges of leadership and governance in a volatile region were immense, and Arafat's legacy remains a subject of intense debate. The Oslo Accords, while groundbreaking in their intent, ultimately failed to deliver a lasting peace. The agreements were plagued by ambiguities, implementation challenges, and a lack of trust between the two sides. The continued expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank, the status of Jerusalem, and the right of return for Palestinian refugees remained major sticking points. The Second Palestinian Intifada, which erupted in 2000 following the collapse of negotiations at Camp David, further dashed hopes for a negotiated settlement. The violence, characterized by Palestinian suicide bombings and Israeli military incursions, led to a hardening of positions on both sides. The peace process, once a beacon of hope, ground to a halt. The failure of Oslo had far-reaching consequences for both Israelis and Palestinians. It led to a deepening of the conflict, a surge in violence, and a loss of faith in the peace process. For Palestinians, it also exposed the challenges of self-governance under occupation and the limitations of the PA's authority. The Oslo Accords, despite their ultimate failure, remain a significant chapter in the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They demonstrated the possibility, however fleeting, of dialogue and negotiation. However, their legacy is also one of missed opportunities, unfulfilled promises, and a stark reminder of the challenges in achieving a just and lasting peace.